You've been lied to, not maliciously, just ignorantly. Most of what you think you know about how women fall in love. The kind that sticks, the kind that breaks her sleep because she's thinking about you, that doesn't come from tricks. It comes from understanding what's actually going on inside her mind. What's happening chemically, emotionally, psychologically. It's either shallow, manipulative, or so surface level it barely scratches the truth. You're taught to think love is instant. She laughs, she touches her hair, she makes eye contact and you feel it. Boom, dopamine. You start imagining dates, future plans, even intimacy. That's how men are wired. Visual stimulus, fast emotional payoff. And the moment you try to force it over text, overshare, overcomment, she starts pulling back. Not because she's cruel, because it doesn't feel right. Her internal chemistry isn't ready. Biologically, testosterone and dopamine do most of the early work. No ego, no gimmicks, just truth. That you just say the right things, show up looking a certain way, and boom, she's hooked. They fall in love with the man who makes them feel emotionally safe enough to be imperfect, but real love. But if you try to fake this process, love bomb her, mirror her personality, play high-value games, her intuition will catch it. Women fall in love when they invest mentally, emotionally, and physically, not because you forced them to. Because it felt natural. Let's go through each one. And when you're in her head, you're on your way to her heart. Mental investment is triggered by curiosity and mystery, but not the fake Dante text her for 3 days kind. Real mystery, leaving space for her to wonder about who you really are. Because love isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. Safety isn't just don't hurt her, it's don't rush her. If you want to stop being the guy women like but never chase, then sit down, focus, and let me walk you through this like an older brother would. Part 1, attraction isn't love, and that's where most men fail. We talked about a novel neither of us had finished. Instead of trying to impress her, I told her, if you ever read the ending, don't tell me. I like not knowing how some things end. She laughed. 2 days later, she texted me a photo of the book, and we started talking again. These actions don't come from obligation, they come from emotional safety. The moment you meet her, your emotions hit hard. A hand on her back when you guide her into a room. A hug that lingers slightly. These small physical signals, when built on trust, release oxytocin again and again. But for her, it's not the same, but physical connection after emotional investment. That's how long-term attraction forms. Oxytocin isn't released all at once. It's released over time through consistent emotional moments, trust, safety, vulnerability, shared laughter, subtle tension, even respectful conflict. Female emotional response is built on anticipation, not the moment, but the momentum. Her emotional chemistry builds gradually. Think slow burn, not explosion. You either give too much too fast or none at all. But emotional investment is not trauma dumping. It's not crying in her lap on the second date. It's about revealing pieces of your world that show her you trust her presence in it. Attraction is a spark, but love is a structure. Most men confuse the two. Boom, that's a window. You didn't overshare, but you let her in. And now she's not just walking with a guy, she's walking through a memory. Part 2, the real chemistry behind emotional connection. Now let's go deeper. There's a hormonal reason why women fall in love slower. It comes down to something called oxytocin, the bonding chemical. Every time she feels safe and seen around you, her brain gives her a hit of oxytocin. Women don't fall in love with the man who's perfect. Part 3, the 3 investments that trigger real love. Let's break this down further. 1. Mental investment, rumination. This one is subtle but powerful. When a woman starts thinking about you when you're not around, you're in her head. Here's an example. I once met a girl at a bookstore. That's rumination. She remembered, she invested a thought. And that tiny emotional breadcrumb brought her back. Mental investment builds through subtle tension, emotional callbacks, shared inside jokes, and most importantly, not always being available. Let her fill in some of the blanks. Curiosity keeps the door open. 2. Emotional investment, shared vulnerability. This is the one most guys screw up. Say you're walking with her and you mention, "My dad used to walk this route when he was stressed." It kind of stuck with me. Emotionally invested women don't leave easily. Because when they invest in your story, they feel part of it. 3. Physical investment, time, effort, and touch. This isn't about sex, that comes much later. Physical investment means her energy is now connected to your presence. She shows up to see you, she brings coffee without being asked. She plans time around you, and once physical touch enters, it should be anchored in all the previous layers. Physical connection without emotional groundwork leads to regret. PART 4. Compliance isn't control, it's trust in action. Now let's talk about a misunderstood concept, compliance. Your competitor might teach you to get her to comply like you're programming a robot. That's manipulative. But compliance in healthy terms is just her choosing to follow your lead because she feels emotionally aligned with you. There are 3 levels of this. Low level, she agrees to your suggestions. "Let's try this place." She says yes, that's baseline trust. Mid-level, she starts adapting her plans to yours. Rescheduling things to see you, asking for your opinion. You earn it by being consistent, emotionally intelligent, and grounded. Leadership in love isn't he barking orders, it's creating an emotional rhythm that feels natural for her to follow. High level, she lets you lead emotionally. She opens up without being asked, she initiates connection. But here's the thing, you don't demand compliance. Part 5, why time is your greatest asset and how you waste it. You want clarity fast, you want labels, commitment, affection right away. But real women don't fall in love with speed, they fall in love with time plus consistency. You can't microwave emotional connection. Most men rush. You see a spark and want it to be fire. I didn't try to win her over every day. When you don't chase her but you don't flake. When you're vulnerable but not needy, strong but not forceful, stop, let her bloom. Not all flowers open when you want them to, and when a woman can't relax, she can't feel. She was smart, sarcastic, guarded. I didn't try to charm her, I just saw her. One day, she texted, "You're hard to figure out, but you feel familiar." When she made a dry joke, I laughed like I meant it. When she looked tired, I asked if she was okay, not flirtatiously. Humanly, that means her heart stays closed. You may look the part. Say the right words, but it won't land. They fall in love with the man who understands their pace, who respects their mind, who lets them choose him day after day instead of trying to convince them. I just showed up consistently as myself and let her come forward at her own pace. Every meaningful relationship I've had started slow. Not because I was playing games, but because I allowed space. We didn't text every hour. You waste time trying to force the outcome instead of building the foundation, and I don't just mean physically. I mean emotionally, spiritually, energetically. It was weightless, quiet, real. That was love-earned, not captured. Be the man who can sit with silence, who doesn't chase validation, who respects his own emotional space enough not to beg for someone else's. Part 6, Emotional Safety, the foundation of female desire. This might be the most important thing I tell you. A woman can only fall in love with a man she feels safe around. If she's constantly wondering how you feel, where you are, what your intentions are, she can't relax. Don't make it about getting her. Emotional safety is built when your words match your actions. When she can breathe around you, she can love around you. Part 7, a short story of slow love. Let me tell you about Sarah, not her real name, but the story's real. I met her at a mutual friend's dinner. Weeks passed. We texted a little. Saw each other again, nothing physical. But the emotional tension built. That's when I knew. She was thinking, reflecting, wondering, investing, and 2 months in, we kissed. It wasn't fireworks. Part 8, what you need to remember. Here's the truth. Women fall in love not with the loudest guy, the richest guy, or even the best looking guy. That's emotional power. So the next time you meet a girl who makes your heart beat faster, don't try to skip to the ending. Don't turn attraction into obsession. Make it about becoming a man worth choosing. Final words, the real call to action: stop memorizing tactics, start developing presence. Because here's the truth, if you want her heart, start by mastering your own. That's how women fall in love. That's how you stay unforgettable.